I mean, you can't look at every game and make it a referendum on the season, but yeah, I mean, they had a good outing against Chatham and a not so good offensive performance yesterday against Orleans with just the 5 hits. It was a little up and down if you just focus on those 2 games, but that's 2 games in a larger stretch of the season.
Yeah, well, let's see what happens tonight against the Falmouth Commodores. I should say this afternoon against the Falmouth Commodores. 4 o'clock start here from Spillane Field. And Spencer Turnbull will get the ball. But now let's talk a little bit about the Falmouth Commodores. When we talk about the power, we talk about the 3 home runs in the last 3 games. Wareham on the season, I believe, has 5 home runs. 2 for Trevor Podats, 1 for Sturgeon, 1 for Pirtle, 1 for Kyle Schwarber. But this Falmouth team, they can hit home runs. It starts with Casey Gillespie and Reese Hoskins. And Dylan, I mean, it's really like 1 through 9. This is a very dangerous lineup.
Yeah, I mean, Wareham last in the league in runs. Falmouth leads the league in runs. That's the main distinction there. And Falmouth has 194 runs. Wareham has 101. It's almost 2 times the offensive output for this Commodores team. They do it with power. They lead the league in home runs with 26. They've got it all on offense. What can you say, really?
I mean, yeah, this is going to be a very dangerous lineup. And Spencer Turnbull, tonight's starting pitcher, is going to have to be very careful with his pitch selection because, I mean, you throw it in a spot where Casey Gillespie, or you talk about Reese Hoskins, you talk about Dylan Davis, Kevin Crone, those guys are going to put it over the fence despite these very deep dimensions here at Spillane Field. I mean, these guys, Falmouth led the Western Division of the Cape League in All-Stars. I mean, they had, I think it was 6 starters. I mean, what can you say about these kids, these guys? And one guy I really want to talk about is Kevin Newman. I mean, he's a very good hitter, and he's a dangerous bat.
Yeah, Kevin Newman, I know he's one of your favorite players on this team. You think he's really good, and he has been so good, hitting 323, 27 runs scored. That's second most in the league. The only guy he's trailing in terms of runs scored is Reese Hoskins, another Falmouth Commodore hitting right behind him today in the number 3 hole. Hoskins has scored 33 times. It's, 1 through 9, like you said, this lineup is just strong, especially 1 through 6. Really, that can cause a lot of problems for any opposing team, but especially Wareham is going to need a very strong start from Spencer Turnbull here in Game 1 because they have a lot of games coming up. They have another one today, obviously, with the doubleheader, but you got to get a good outing from Turnbull. In his first 2 starts this summer, he did not work deep in the ball games. And Terry Thompson, I was speaking with him earlier, and he said, I mean, we're really in a position where we need to ride him. They're both 7-inning games, but ride him as long as he can so that we can limit the wear and tear on our bullpen.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about how he hasn't really been able to get the innings. Last start, July 3rd at the Bourne Braves, 2 1/3, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 1 strikeout. He really hasn't been consistent either. His last appearance was July 19th versus the Harwich Mariners. That was here at Spillane Field. 2 innings, an earned run, 3 hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. I mean, he's going to... The command really has not been there this season, and on the season he's got 10 walks and 11 1/3 innings pitched, just 5 strikeouts. He'll also give up a lot of hits, 17, and he's got an ERA of just under 5 with a 4.76. I mean, what does he need to do tonight to really just, he's got to focus on the command. I talked to Terry Thompson a little bit before the game after you did, and he said, yeah, I mean, you got to have command of your fastball if you want to have a good start. That's, I think, where it starts with me, where it is to do tonight.
That's been the problem with Turnbull this summer. He just gets behind hitters in the count, and Terry Thompson, what he wants Spencer Turnbull to work on tonight or today, and what he needs to see from him, and what they've been working on really in these 11 days since Turnbull's last appearance, is fastball command and getting ahead in the count, most likely with the fastball, because Turnbull, I mean, he's a guy that can get a lot of velocity behind it. He can run it up there to 94, 95. He'll sit in the low 90s. So if he can command that as well, we saw how successful Trey Killian was last night when he was spotting the fastballs. And another interesting thing with Terry Thompson, what he was telling us, he was giving us some stats about 5 of the last starts recently. It's been a lot of fastballs that have done the trick when pitchers work the fastball. Last time they were at home, Sean Newcomb threw 102 pitches, 81 of them were fastballs, and we saw the results. It was 7 shutout innings. He wants to see a very similar ratio of fastballs to pitches thrown tonight with Turnbull.
And you got to have command of that fastball. If you don't have command of that fastball, you're going to walk guys, and these guys, when you talk about the Falmouth Commodores, they can hit the ball. So if you let any runners on, you're really in danger. I mean, anything can happen. And now let's turn to the Wareham Gatemen starting lineup. Remember, they are the home team this afternoon. It'll be Cole Sturgeon leading it off in center field. Brett Pirtle will be at second base. Kyle Schwarber is the designated hitter. Sean McMullen's in right. Danny Rosenbaum at third. Matt Walsh is the catcher. Bradley Roney is at first base tonight, batting seventh. Tino Lipson batting eighth. He's in left and batting ninth. At shortstop from Memphis, it is Ethan Gross, who's been hitting the ball pretty well. And now, Mike, before we get to the home team, the Falmouth Commodores starting lineup, let's talk about the last part of our pregame show. Two players you're excited to watch, one for Wareham and one for Falmouth. Looks like I'll be going first. And I think for Wareham, for me, it really does start with Spencer Turnbull. He's got to be right on. I mean, if he's not, then Falmouth's going to be all over Wareham, and that's going to be the biggest problem tonight. That's also a concern of mine. I don't know how good Turnbull can be just against this Falmouth lineup. It's just so powerful and such just great hitting. And for me, for Falmouth, I think it starts with Kevin Newman. I want to see what he really can do tonight, how he's going to take advantage of Spencer Turnbull. He's good at finding the gaps and using every part of the field. So Newman for Falmouth for me, and Turnbull for Wareham.
Turnbull, yeah, he'd be the obvious choice for me. On the Gatemen side, it's really make or break how he comes out in today's start. But I'll go with Bradley Roney getting a start for a second consecutive game here. He's at first base after DHing yesterday against Orleans. I want to see what he can do now that he's getting steady at bats. We probably won't see him pitching for a while, maybe not the rest of the summer. And on the Falmouth side, I'm going to go with the whole lineup because I want to see what this offense can do. Last time out, they were stymied by Fred Shepard on the hill. When last time these two teams played, Shepard was 7 shutout innings and was just superb throughout that whole outing. And he kept the big hitters in the lineup, 3, 4, 5, and 6, Hoskins, Gillespie, Davis, and Crone, to 2 for 12 with no big hits in that ball game. And if Turnbull and Simpson can have similar success today, Turnbull in Game 1, Wareham is definitely someone that can take down the Commodores.
Yeah, well, Falmouth last night, not a good night against the Chatham Anglers, fell 8-0, a shutout. I mean, you talk about 3 hits, 1 for Troy Stein, 1 for Kevin Cronin, 1 for Reese Hoskins. Everybody else hitless. That includes Kevin Newman, Casey Gillespie, Dylan Davis, Connor Hale, Sam Gillikin. It's kind of a struggle right now for the Commodores, but they turn this afternoon to Craig Schlitter, 2-2, the 3.30 earned run average. He'll give up a lot of hits, 32 hits and 32 and 2/3 innings pitched. He's kind of just in the middle there with the strikeouts, 24 and 32 and 2/3. But he pitched here at Wareham June 29th, got the win, was spectacular. 7 innings, an earned run, 3 hits, 3 strikeouts, and no walks. This is the guy who he's not really going to walk many batters, just 8 and 32 and 2/3. But let's get you now the Falmouth Commodores starting lineup. It'll be Leon Bird Jr. He's the second baseman from Rice. Kevin Newman is at shortstop batting second. He's from Arizona. Reese Hoskins bats third. He's in left from Sacramento State. Casey Gillespie in the cleanup spot. He's the designated hitter from Wichita State. Dylan Davis in right field bats fifth from Oregon State. Kevin Crone, the first baseman, bats sixth. Connor Hale bats seventh. He's at third. Cameron O'Brien is the catcher, batting eighth. Sam Gillikin rounds out the lineup. He's in center field, batting ninth. And again on the mound is Craig Schlitter. Just a beautiful day here at Spillane Field. Clouds in the sky, but blue skies, nothing dark. It seems like this has been the first day in a while that we really haven't, that we've had like perfect weather. Last night was pretty good at Eldridge Park, but I know on my way home it did start to rain a little bit. I don't know if you saw that as well, but this is like the first time, at least that's what it feels like, that it's been nice. As we now send you inside Spillane Field for this afternoon's national anthem, and PA announcer Dan Dias.
I'm Ethan Gross, and this is Wareham Gatemen Baseball.
I'm Tino Lipson, and this is Wareham Gatemen Baseball.
Hi, I'm Adam Toth, and this is Wareham Gatemen Baseball.
I'm Cooper Ferris, and this is Wareham Gatemen Baseball.
Newcomb's 3-2, hits the outside corner for strike 3.
Roney charging from third, goes to the backhand, makes the play. The throw on to first, Poe drafts the low scoop. He got him.
Andrew Minnie's 1-2 pitch, Toth on the move, bolts for second, slides in safe just ahead of the bag.
Called third strike, he got him. Count him, that's 8 Ks for the big right-hander.
2-1 pitch to Wall, swinging a high fly ball deep to left, that will bang off the fence. Rounding third, headed for home is Lipson. He will score.
Little flare into short, left center field. Gross running back, he makes the grab over the shoulder.
Chopper back to Huffman, throws home to Walsh, on to first. 1-2-3 double play.
And here's your broadcast team, Mike Monaco and Austin Pollock.
Welcome to Spillane Field here in Wareham, Massachusetts for Game 1 of today's doubleheader between the Wareham Gatemen and the Falmouth Commodores. It's a gorgeous summer day here on the gateway to the Cape, and we've got 14 innings of baseball on tap for you. Thanks for joining us on the Cape Cod Baseball Network alongside Austin Pollock. I'm Mike Monaco. These teams were rained out twice last week, and today they squeeze in a pair of makeup games in round 1. Spencer Turnbull gets the ball for the Gatemen and will oppose Falmouth right-hander Craig Schlitter. Turnbull will be looking to right the Wareham ship as the Gatemen fell to Orleans last night after going 3 straight games without a loss. In Game 1, Falmouth is technically the home team and Wareham the road team as we are about ready to get Game 1 started. This game will start in a few moments, 4 o'clock. It'll go 7 innings. And then Game 2 will start either 30 minutes after the conclusion of Game 1 or at 7 o'clock, whichever one comes later, and Wareham will technically be the home team, though we're not moving from Spillane Field, Austin.
No, it's going to be nice. I mean, we haven't been here for many days. It's been since last Monday when Sean Newcomb pitched very well against the Hyannis Harborhawks. Supposed to play Falmouth on Wednesday here at Spillane Field. That game rained out, just showers, or a thunderstorm just came out of nowhere, and just, as Warren Randolph likes to call it, made it Lake Spillane. Shortstop and second base, just puddles and puddles.
No rain in sight today. Blue skies with some white puffy clouds out in left center field, as you can see. We also won't have the typical 4-camera video feed for you guys. We've got people working their day jobs, but that will return for the nightcap as we're ready for baseball. Craig Schlitter on the hill. Cole Sturgeon to lead it off for the Gatemen, and the first pitch from Schlitter is a fastball that gets the outside corner. Called strike 1. We are underway in Game 1. Schlitter, a 6-foot right-hander from Bryant. Sturgeon swings and tips the second one for strike 2. Schlitter making his 7th start of the summer, a 3.30 ERA. He started once against Wareham right here at Spillane Field, 7 innings of 1-run ball. Fastball misses outside, a ball and 2 strikes. Schlitter will be a senior next season for Bryant, where this past year, 2.58 ERA in 14 starts. He bounces that one in, 2-2.
Cole Sturgeon, a nice night last night, 2 for 4, had a home run.
First home run of the summer for the Louisville center fielder. The 2-2 offering on the way from Schlitter. Swing and a miss. Slider dips low and inside. Sturgeon swings over it. It's the first out of the ball game. Sturgeon retired with a swinging strikeout.
Well, Craig Schlitter, I mean, he's not really a guy who's going to record many strikeouts, 24 and 32 and 2/3 this season. Had 4 his last start July 21st against the Firebirds.
Number 2 man in the lineup is Brett Pirtle. His first pitch swinging a weak line drive up the middle. Leon Bird stumbles and fields it, but will not have a throw. An athletic play to get to the ball, but it'll be an infield single for Brett Pirtle with 1 down.
Well, Bird had to go a long way to his right to get that one. He made a nice play, but just kind of had his feet kind of tangled up and unable to make the play.
So here's Kyle Schwarber with a man on first after that nice effort from Bird Jr., the second baseman. Schwarber was 1 for 3 yesterday, had 8 hits in his first 10 at-bats, so now sits at 9 for 13 on his young summer. Takes a first pitch, ball misses low. Schwarber came from Team USA, where he batted right around 300 for the national team. Played throughout the summer circuit with Team USA. Second pitch also misses downstairs. This one a bit outside as well, 2-0.
Schlitter working quickly. Now Schwarber, this is his first game at Spillane Field since last summer.
Wareham is wearing the home whites, though they are the road team. And Schlitter pumps a fastball in there, strike one. 2 balls and a strike. There's a long road trip for the Gatemen. Finally back to Spillane Field. Schlitter making his second start away from Arnie Allen Diamond. The other one was also at Spillane. Pirtle off with the pitch. Up throwing is the catcher, O'Brien. Pirtle dives, and he is out at second.
Nice tag over there by the shortstop, Kevin Newman. Pirtle tried to get his hand out of the way of the tag, but Pirtle got him just right in time.
That's a fantastic throw by the catcher, Cameron O'Brien, and we should take you around the rest of the defensive alignment. Reese Hoskins in left field, Sam Gillikin in center, Dylan Davis in right, as the 2-2 is fouled off to the left side. Connor Hale is the third baseman, Kevin Newman mans shortstop. Leon Bird Jr., who we already mentioned, is at second. Kevin Crone plays first base, and O'Brien does the catching for Schlitter. 2-2 count, 2 outs. We're in the top of the first. Schlitter misses high and ball. So it's full count now on Schwarber.
Dylan Davis, the right fielder, is very deep out there and right, just a few steps in front of the warning track.
The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Schwarber fans, and that does it here in the top of the first inning. 2 Ks for Craig Schlitter on the hill for Falmouth. We are underway, off and running with game 1 of today's doubleheader. No score for Wareham in the top of the first. We'll see what Falmouth can do when they come to the plate for the first time on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. The first upcoming here at Spillane Field. Thanks for tuning in. No score for Wareham in their first crack at the plate against Craig Schlitter. We roll on to the home half of the first. Falmouth technically the home team here in game 1 of the doubleheader. Spencer Turnbull on the hill for the Gatemen, making his 3rd start of the summer, 6th appearance overall. He has not started a ball game since his first 2 outings of the summer, which came on June 24th and then July 3rd. So it's been a long time since Turnbull came in and started a ball game. Saw him in relief, has been pretty solid. In 3 relief appearances, he went a total of 5 innings, giving up just 1 run. But we will see what we get from Turnbull today. The big right-hander from Alabama comes in having pitched 11 1/3 innings, sporting a 4.76 ERA, and he will deal with this Falmouth lineup, which leads the league in runs scored. We'll run through it once again. Leon Bird Jr. to lead it off. Kevin Newman bats second. Reese Hoskins in the 3-hole. Casey Gillespie batting cleanup. Dylan Davis follows batting 5th. Kevin Crone, the number 6 hitter. Connor Hale bats 7th. Cameron O'Brien bats 8th. And Sam Gillikin rounds out the starting 9. Penciled in by Falmouth manager Jeff Trundy, who on Sunday was inducted into the Maine Baseball Hall of Fame. Had to miss the game on Sunday for his Falmouth squad. But Trundy is back. He also coached the Western Division side in the All-Star game on Saturday. And he's got a good Falmouth squad. 20-17 entering today's doubleheader. Right now, 3rd in the West. Turnbull winds and fires a fastball down the middle, getting ahead to the leadoff man, Bird Jr.
Bird Jr. hitting .259, was 0 for 4 against Chatham last night.
Turnbull knows that focus for him today will be on fastball command and getting ahead, as that one is sprayed foul down the left field line. So he's quickly ahead 0-2. And right now, let's run through the defensive alignment for the Wareham Gatemen.
It'll be Danny Rosenbaum at third base, Ethan Gross the shortstop, Brett Pirtle at second, Bradley Roney is at first base tonight, Tina Lipson in left, Cole Sturgeon in center, Sean McMullen in right, and Matt Walsh doing the catching for Spencer Turnbull.
The 0-2 misses a little bit up and away. A ball and 2 strikes to Bird. Leadoff man for this Falmouth squad from Rice University, to be followed by Kevin Newman. The outfield playing Bird shallow, Sturgeon shaded toward left. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball swung on and missed by Bird, held onto by Walsh. Turnbull starts his outing with a strikeout here in the first.
Now, believe it or not, that's a very big out right there for Spencer Turnbull, I mean, Leon Bird Jr. is third on the team in stolen bases. He has 8. He's been caught 5 times, but he can run. And he's a smart base runner. And, I mean, when you start to get to Kevin Newman and Reese Hoskins and Casey Gillespie, if your runner's on, that's dangerous.
Well, here's one of those guys. Kevin Newman comes in batting .323. 27 runs scored, second most in the league, and he takes a fastball over for strike 1. Turnbull pumping it in there to get ahead. Turnbull, 6'3", 220 pounds, from Madison, Mississippi. There was a 4-seamer, 2-seamer, a slider, and a change. 0-1 fastball fouled away to the right side by Newman. Newman 0 for 4 with a strikeout yesterday against Chatham, but has been one of the best hitters on the Cape. Shortstop from Arizona, originally from Poway, California. High school teammates with Connor Joe of Chatham. The 0-2 runs too far outside. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Spencer Turnbull has not pitched against Falmouth, did not face any of the Commodores in his first 2 seasons at Alabama. He stares in, standing tall on the mound. The 1-2 on the ground, chopped weakly toward third. Rosenbaum waits, fields, fires, and that one was not caught by Bradley Roney. It might have tipped off of his glove or maybe grazed the runner. In any event, Matt Walsh was backing up, and Kevin Newman reaches with 1 down.
Well, Newman runs very well. First on the team in stolen bases with 14, and he's up there with the league lead as well.
So we will wait the official scoring on that, but we should note Bradley Roney, first time he has played first base this summer, and talking to Cooper Ferris before the game, and he said, well, he's an athletic kid. I'm not too worried about him over there. The throw from Rosenbaum did tail a little bit. Roney could not handle it, so a runner aboard, a dangerous one. Newman with speed at first, and Reese Hoskins, the number 3 hitter, waits at the plate. Looked like a curveball there from Turnbull, 1-0. It misses low. Hoskins leads the league in RBIs with 30. Also leads the league in runs scored with 33. He's batting .309, the left fielder from Sacramento State. He also leads the league in hits with 46. I mean, you name it, this guy leads an offensive category.
Yeah, he is very good. I mean, he had a home run here. I think it was the first time that Falmouth played Wareham here at Spillane Field. Home run just to left center. Pretty deep part of the ballpark into those left field bleachers. He's a big boy, too, 6'4", 225.
He's the first of 4 hitters in this Commodore lineup that just has a ton of power. Hoskins, Gillespie, Dylan Davis, and Kevin Crone, the 3 through 6 hitters. Very dangerous bunch for Falmouth. The 1-0 from Turnbull misses low and away. 2 balls, no strikes. Turnbull was also paying attention over there to Newman, who was credited with an infield single to reach first base. So 1 hit aside, we're in the bottom of the first inning, no score, game 1 of today's doubleheader. Wareham is technically the away team. Turnbull from the stretch will throw over to first. It gets away from Roney. Newman thought about second, but will hold.
Well, I'm kind of surprised that Kyle Schwarber is the designated hitter tonight and Bradley Roney's at first. Thought maybe it would be the opposite way.
I think with a doubleheader, Cooper Ferris knows he needs to let these guys rest. Got Walsh, Chinea, and Schwarber to all mess with catchers and designated hitters, and Trevor Podratz we'll definitely see in the second game, Cooper Ferris told us, but don't know yet about the first game. We've seen him come in as a defensive replacement in the last 2 ball games.
Yeah, it's got to be tough for him. I mean, he's been the guy at first base all season long, and then Schwarber comes in and he's kind of losing his starting job.
That was ball 3. As the 4th pitch is in there for strike 1, Turnbull does find the zone there to Hoskins, a low fastball. So it's 3-1, 1 out, bottom of the first.
Well, back to what you were saying about how this is the first of the dangerous bats with Hoskins, Gillespie, Davis, and Crone. These are all big bodies.
Turnbull will throw over. Newman dives back.
As I mentioned, Hoskins 6'4", 225. Casey Gillespie 6'5", 240. Kevin Crone 6'6", 245. Davis 6 feet, 205. So nothing special there, but
Turnbull comes set right at the chest. The 3-1 pitch is popped up, and that will get out of play. High ball hit right to the left of us. We're in the press box directly behind home plate from the same vantage point where you see the camera looking out at the field. Sun shining down here at Spillane Field. It'll be a long day of baseball for these teams. Cooper Ferris was saying earlier he's a little worried about this. Team had 2 long road trips to Chatham and Orleans in each of the past 2 days. Got back around 12:30, past midnight, and he said they're all feeling tired. He wonders how they will hold up today. Ethan Gross, one guy in particular, has played in every game for Wareham, one of just 3 players in the league to do so.
He hasn't slowed down either. He's played well recently in the last couple days.
Reese Hoskins is another one who's played in every game for his team. Newman started off, but the 3-2 pitch is high, and Hoskins draws a walk after a long at-bat there. Back-to-back runners aboard for Falmouth. Guys at first and second in the bottom of the first inning, no score, and Casey Gillespie, the cleanup hitter and the league leader in home runs, coming to the plate.
Casey Gillespie's Connor. Gillespie plays for the Chicago White Sox. Gillespie's been hot as well, 4 for 7 in his last 3 games, has a home run and 2 RBIs.
Switch hitter batting from the left side. He was in the home run derby on Saturday at the All-Star game. That was won by Hyannis' Skylar Ewing. Gillespie, though, leads the league in games that count. Turnbull fires home the first pitch. Fastball low and away for ball 1. The home plate umpire for today's game is Rich Gaitane. Jeffrey Mertzel is at first, and David Viveros at third. I believe that's also the crew for the second game, though they'll switch around the positioning, we think.
We think.
We'll check in with them after the first game, see how they feel. The 1-0 is a fastball that touches the outside corner, a ball and a strike.
It's also not too hot out. I mean, we're not in a heat wave, we can tell you that, but it's not cold. It's a little warmer than comfortable, at least for me.
There's not much humidity today, which is another helpful thing.
Right. Well, I don't know about you, but I mean, I like it. I mean, I go to Syracuse, so I like the cold.
1-1 the count on Gillespie. A look towards second from Turnbull. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball that gets the heart of the strike zone. A ball and 2 strikes. Gillespie took it. He's down in a 2-strike hole. Gillespie has struck out 36 times this season to lead the Commodores.
It's a thing with power bats. They'll strike out a lot.
A ball and 2 strikes, 1 out. Turnbull trying to get out of the first inning. Here's his pitch. Breaking ball taken by Gillespie, who thought about it, but it's a little high, 2-2. Wareham comes into today's action 8-28-1. Had gone 3 straight games without a loss before yesterday's defeat at the hands of Orleans. Falmouth, as we mentioned, 20-17. Already has clinched a playoff spot. 2-2. Driven out towards center field, a high fly ball. Sturgeon moves to his right, makes the catch. Tagging from second was Newman, but he will bluff and return to the base. It's a fly out to left center, second out of the inning.
It's another big out right there for Spencer Turnbull, because if that ball gets down, maybe goes to the gap, and that's going to score Newman and will most likely score Hoskins from first, maybe hold him up at third.
But the danger is still present. Another big bat coming to the plate. It's the right fielder from Oregon State, Dylan Davis, who comes in with 5 home runs and 23 RBIs. He was a late arrival from Oregon State. Only played in 22 games, but has already made a big-time impact. Righty-righty matchup. Turnbull's pitch. Fastball that grazes the outside corner for strike 1. Davis from Redmond, Washington. Listed at 6 feet, 205. He also pitches a little bit. Has run it up in the high 90s on the mound in relief for Falmouth. Turnbull's 0-1. Breaking ball called strike 2. He's working away toward Davis. So far, the command is there.
Davis has 5 RBIs in his last 10 games. He had at least 1 RBI in each of his first 8 games.
He had a quick start to the summer for the Commodores. Just another big bat for them. 0-2 pitch. Swung on and popped up to the right side. McMullen runs in from right, but Pirtle will make the call and make the catch right in front of the edge of the outfield grass to retire this side. Falmouth strands 2 runners on the bases as we are through 1. No score between Falmouth and Wareham on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. On to the second inning we roll at Spillane Field. Game 1 of the doubleheader. No score after 1. Wareham coming to bat in the top of the second inning. 3 up, 3 down in the first for Craig Schlitter. Brett Pirtle, the second batter of the inning, reached with an infield single, but was caught stealing for the second out of the frame. Just 13 pitches needed for Schlitter, who will face the cleanup man, Sean McMullen. First pitch fastball painting the outside black. It's strike 1. McMullen did face Schlitter when he got the start against Wareham here at Spillane Field. McMullen was 1 for 3 with a double in that ball game. The 0-1 misses downstairs, a ball and a strike. In that game, as we said, Schlitter was in complete control on June 29th, a 9-1 Falmouth win. And the right-hander worked 7 innings, 1 run, only needed 72 pitches. 1-1 runs in too far, gets out of the mitt of Cameron O'Brien, the catcher. 2-1. Since then, though, when Schlitter just needed 72 pitches in 7 innings, Wareham, we've seen them get a whole lot more patient at the plate. Longer at bats, waiting for their pitch. The 2-1. That's cued out toward left field. On the move is Hoskins. He will make the slide, can't come up with a catch. It's a fair ball. McMullen around first, up to second, with a leadoff double here to start off the second inning.
That's the way to start off an inning for the Gatemen. I mean, we saw this yesterday. Sturgeon led off the game with a single, then McMullen led off the second inning with a single, and then Cole Sturgeon led off the third with a home run.
It's the second double of the season for McMullen, the right fielder from LSU. He stands at second base. 1 in scoring position for the Gatemen. Danny Rosenbaum, the batter, the third baseman from Louisville, hitting at .228. Squares the bunt, pulls it back, and it's ball 1 outside. Crone, the first baseman, came racing in. The third baseman, Connor Hale, will hold the bag at third. Rosenbaum waves his two-tone bat in his hand, a blue bat with a brown handle. 1-0, low and away, 2 balls, no strikes.
The blue bat's very interesting. I don't think I've really seen that. I've seen red.
He's one of the few guys we've seen with blue lumber this summer.
I think he's the only one I've seen.
Rosenbaum did not play yesterday against Orleans, was 2 for 5 against Chatham the other day. Pickoff attempt to second, out is McMullen. The shortstop, Kevin Newman, came racing in behind the bag. McMullen caught sleeping at second, and it's the first out of the inning, erasing the leadoff double.
Well, you can't do that if you're Sean McMullen. You need to be much more aware of what's going on. You need to be prepared that Schlitter's going to turn around and make that throw to second.
So the 2-0 pitch to Rosenbaum is a fastball over for strike 1. Whole new complexion to this inning now. 1 down, top of the second. Here's the 2-1. Working away again is Craig Schlitter, outside edge, 2-2 with the strike. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball swung on and missed by Rosenbaum. Chased one that dropped low and away. It's already the third strikeout of the afternoon for Craig Schlitter, and there are 2 away in the top of the second.
Yeah, well, Schlitter's been pretty good so far. I mean, he gave up the single to Pirtle. He was caught stealing, and then he gave up a double to McMullen. So both guys that he's allowed on base, he's gotten them. He's gotten rid of them.
Found a way to do so.
Yeah.
As he faces Matt Walsh. Runs the first fastball too far outside for ball 1. Walsh was 0 for 2 against Schlitter on June 29th, a pair of groundouts. Did not play yesterday against Orleans. That hits the inside corner for strike 1 with the heat. Walsh did play against Chatham on Sunday night, 0 for 3, but he walked and scored 3 times in that game. 1-1. Schlitter working quickly and efficiently. A fastball in there again for a strike. He goes outside, inside, and then outside again to Matt Walsh. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Walsh takes it there. Schlitter had taken 1 or 2 steps toward his dugout. It's called a ball.
Schlitter, if you're maybe having a hard time looking at his delivery, he throws a little bit like Ryan Dempster.
The 2-2. Hit on the ground down the third base line, but foul. Walsh got tied up there.
Just kind of the way that he rocks and leans. I don't know, do you see it at all, maybe?
I'd have to watch him a little bit more.
I'll ask you in an inning or two.
All right. 2-2 the count, 2 outs, top of the second. The pitch. Hit on the ground, weakly towards short. Newman to his left, throws on to first, and closes out the routine play. 3 up, 3 down. Sean McMullen got erased on the leadoff double here in the second. Craig Schlitter cruising. We roll to the bottom of the second inning. No score on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Spillane Field between Falmouth and Wareham. The Commodores are the home team for game 1 of this doubleheader. And so far, Craig Schlitter has been solid on the hill. Spencer Turnbull, the Wareham right-hander, coming out for his second inning. He needed 22 pitches to get through the first. Left runners at first and second. And he will face Kevin Crone, the TCU first baseman, batting .326. First pitch misses downstairs for ball 1 to Crone, who is one of 7 All-Stars for Falmouth. 6 position players, and all 6 of those guys started in the All-Star game on Saturday for the West. The 1-0. It's up high for ball 2. Crone second on this team with 27 RBIs. He's tailed off a little bit, had a really hot start to the summer. 2-0 is driven high and foul toward the right side. Roney over to his left. He has the room and makes the catch for out number 1 in foul ground.
Now, I noticed something about Spencer Turnbull. He ran right off the mound. And it's something we see with Andro Chitora as well. Very good at fielding his position.
Roney put that one away. First put out for him over at first base today. And with 1 down in the home half of the second inning, up comes Connor Hale, the third baseman from the State College of Florida. He'll be going to LSU next season. First pitch fastball over for strike 1 to Hale. Comes in hitting .245 for the Commodores. Home run and 12 RBIs for the right-handed hitter. Swings at the second pitch, pops it up to about the same spot. Roney in foul ground, makes the catch for out number 2. Rinse and repeat with that one.
So Connor Hale's got to start talking to Chris Chenea, Kurt McCune, and Sean McMullen. Find out what to learn about LSU.
And here's Cameron O'Brien, another guy with ties to some Gatemen players. O'Brien spent his freshman season at Louisville before transferring to Northeast Texas Community College. And he lines the first pitch out toward right field. McMullen coming in will let it fall for a 2-out base hit off the bat of the Falmouth catcher, Cameron O'Brien.
O'Brien came into this afternoon's game hitting .244. That's going to help the batting average, as every hit does.
So he's at first with 2 down, and it's the number 9 hole hitter, Sam Gillikin, the center fielder from Auburn, stepping to the dish. He's hitting .273, has 8 RBIs this summer, and 6 of them are against Wareham.
Yeah, he's really crushed Wareham pitching this season.
Turnbull comes home with a fastball low and inside. Walsh scoops it up with the backhand. Ball and no strikes, and exactly right. Gillikin has 2 games this summer against the Gatemen where he had 3 RBIs. The first matchup and the third matchup between these squads. Both times he was 3 for 4 with 3 ribbies. 1-0, chopped on the ground toward third. Rosenbaum across the diamond for the 3rd out to close out the second inning. No score. A 2-out single from Cameron O'Brien, but he's stranded at first base. We're through 2 at Spillane. No score between Falmouth and Wareham on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Top of the 3rd inning, no score. Bradley Roney to lead it off for the Gatemen against Craig Schlitter. He's given up 2 hits, but erased them both quickly. Fires a first pitch fastball in there for strike 1. Roney did not face Craig Schlitter the first time around. And Roney, second time in the lineup for consecutive days as he fists that one foul straight back. Played yesterday against Orleans, 1 for 3 with an RBI. Also struck out 2 times. So he gets back-to-back starts as a position player. Down in an 0-2 hole, the pitch from Schlitter. Taken by Roney. He lays off it low and away, which is a location he has struggled to resist the temptation of recently. Ball and 2 strikes, no outs. The pitch. Roney got tied up, fouled it down the third base line. 28 pitches entering the inning for Craig Schlitter. Single in the first for Pirtle. He was caught stealing. McMullen was picked off a second after doubling, and that one hits Roney. Came up and in. He kind of leaned into that one. And Wareham has the leadoff man aboard as Roney is hit by the pitch.
Just a correction to make that it was Joseph Maggi who was at the plate to end the inning. The lineup card that was turned in by Falmouth says it was Gilligan, but the jersey was number 7, which is Joseph Maggi. He did some reporting and checked it out, and it is Maggi.
So Maggi, the outfielder from Arizona, he's in center field. Not Sam Gilligan. Tino Lipson, the batter. And he squares the bunt, pulls it back, ball 1. Roney, the base runner, at first. Schlitter working from the stretch. He's got Connor Hale, his third baseman, in right near the edge of the grass. Crone holding the runner Roney at first. Lipson squares again. This time the pitch comes too far in. Lipson backs out. It's 2-0. Lipson 0 for 3 with a strikeout last night against the Firebirds. Has seen his average dip to 279. Schlitter's 2-0. Lipson gets it down but hits it off the plate and it rolls backwards, foul. So it's 2-1.
Tino is 2 for his last 18. His average was 304 on July 21st against Chatham. As you mentioned, now 279.
And more recently, he's 0 for his last 9. A bit of a slump for the left-handed hitter from Cal Davis. 2-1, squares again. This time he gets it down. Schlitter fields, throws to second for 1. No throw on to first, but Falmouth gets the lead runner. The bunt was pretty hard hit right back to Schlitter, who fielded his position quickly. Fired it to his shortstop, Kevin Newman, for the force out. And there's one away, Lipson on first.
Well, that can't be what Lipson or Cooper Ferris wanted to do. I mean, you still got a runner on, but you erase that lead runner now.
So Ethan Gross comes to bat with the man at first, not second. 1 out for the number 9 hole hitter. Takes the first pitch well outside for ball 1. Gross hitting at 260. Leads this team with 13 RBIs. 0 for 2 with a walk and a stolen base last night. We're in the top of the third, no score as there's a pickoff. Toss over to first. Diving back is Lipson.
Well, not only does that, the failed bunt right there hurt, as in you lose that lead runner.
That one's pumped over for strike 1, outside edge, a ball and a strike.
But now there's 1 out, and there's a runner at first, so you put yourself right now into a double play possibility to end the inning.
And Newman and Bird, middle infield, playing tight up the middle. 1-1 the count. Schlitter sets at the ear. Another throw. Close play at first, but Lipson back safely.
Now Kevin Crone thought he had him.
Lipson 4 for 6 this summer on stolen base attempts. Wareham as a team last in the league in steals. The 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball taken by Gross. He thought about it, but it's in there for strike 2. Game 1 of the doubleheader today. Still a beautiful day. Clouds in the sky, but a whole lot of sunlight and blue sky. 1-2. Line drive out towards center field. Racing in is Maggi. He lets it fall. Lipson rounded second sharply. He gets back to the base quickly. It's a 1-out single off the bat of Ethan Gross. Wareham has runners at first and second as they turn it back over to the top of the lineup.
Gross has really been hitting the ball well, but I'm now focusing on Tino Lipson. It actually looked like his cleats were like ice skates. He actually just like kind of slid with his feet kind of across when he made that turn.
Just did get back. Newman was stumbling after making the catch and almost dove and caught the heels of Lipson, who had to scurry back to second, which is where he stands. Gross is at first. 2 on, 1 out, top of the third, no score. Cole Sturgeon coming to the plate for the second time. He started this game by striking out swinging. First pitch from Schlitter, too far outside, the fastball tails, so it's ball 1. Schlitter's last start, the 21st against Orleans, 4 1/3, 4 runs, 2 were earned, 8 hits, and 2 walks. Sturgeon on the ground up the middle. Newman to his left, flips to Bird. Barehanded toss to first. It pulls Crone off the base. Sturgeon is safe. A throw across to third. Lipson dives back. So they get the force out at second. Couldn't turn 2. The throw from Leon Bird pulled Kevin Crone to the home plate side of first. So Wareham has runners at the corners with 2 outs, and Brett Pirtle stepping to the plate. Gross erased for the second out. Bird tried to rush the throw with a speedy Sturgeon running. Barehanded the throw. Pirtle takes a first pitch breaking ball over the outside part of the plate for strike 1. First time up, he had an infield single up the middle as well, but Leon Bird made a diving attempt, kept it on the infield, but didn't have a throw at first. 0-1 pitch, chopped to the right side. Will it get through? Bird hits it, and it's botched into shallow right field. Lipson comes in from third to score, and Wareham takes a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, that's just a very bizarre play over there by at second base by Leon Bird. It was in his glove, and then when it fell out, he kind of kicked it.
He had a long way to run for that. He was playing up the middle where Pirtle went the first time. This one between the first and second baseman. More pulled by Pirtle, and it just got away from Bird. With 2 outs, Lipson was coming home on contact, scored easily. And Wareham has runners at first and second, looking for more. 2 outs, Kyle Schwarber, the hitter. First pitch fastball misses away. Schwarber struck out swinging to end the first inning after working the count full. It's the first strikeout of the summer for Schwarber. Takes the second pitch, it's up high, 2-0. Schwarber has done nothing but hit since coming here from Team USA, 9 for 14 after starting his summer with the Gatemen, 8 for 10. He's got a hitter's count. The pitch takes a fastball. Schlitter is really zeroing in on the outside corner. It's 2-1. A run already in for the Gatemen in the inning. Tino Lipson came home to score on the RBI single from Brett Pirtle. 1-0, top of the third. 2-1 the count. 2 outs, the pitch. Breaking ball taken again by Schwarber and called strike 2. Schwarber with a ton of power. Watching him in BP, he hit one off the light post in right field a third of the way before it banged off that light pole. Taken by Schwarber, and it's strike 3 called. Schlitter working away all the way, and he paints the fastball to get the Wareham slugger retired on strikes for the second time today. Wareham does get one, but strands runners at first and second. We roll to the bottom of the third inning at Spillane Field. Wareham 1, Falmouth 0 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. We head to the bottom of the third inning. Wareham gets one on what was ruled as an error by the second baseman, Leon Bird. Tino Lipson came in to score for the Gatemen, and Bird will lead it off in the home half of the third inning against Spencer Turnbull, who winds and fires his first pitch. Bird showed bunt, pulled it back. It's taken for strike 1. Bird, the speedster from Rice, trying to drop down a little drag bunt there. So Rosenbaum in on the grass at third. 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses low, 1-1. 7-inning ball game. Wareham looking to get as much as it can from Spencer Turnbull.
Well, he's been pretty good so far as Sean McMullen's in shallow right.
His 1-1 pitch is bunted, dragged to the right side. Turnbull can't get to it. It falls in between all 3 Gatemen defenders, and Bird reaches with a bunt single to start off the Falmouth part of the third.
Yeah, I think it was just some confusion right there. Pirtle was going over to cover that first base bag, and I think Spencer Turnbull was going toward first, like he was going to cover the bag as well, and then he wanted Bradley Roney to field the ground ball, but I think Bradley Roney thought that Turnbull was going to field it. Just miscommunication as Matt Walsh gives the signs.
It's worth remembering this is Roney's first appearance at first base this summer. Turnbull couldn't get to that one, and neither Pirtle nor Roney scooped it up. Bunt single for Bird to start the third. 1-0 Wareham lead. Bottom of the inning, Kevin Newman the batter. He had an infield single his first time, was stranded at second. As Turnbull checks at first, Bird dives back safely. He has 8 stolen bases this summer in 13 tries for the Commodores. And Bird does lead off of first base. Another pickoff attempt. Not in time. We're in the bottom of the third, 7-inning game. Got to kind of recalibrate what time we're looking at in every game. About halfway through this one. Just about.
I mean, I think you can consider this a day game.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the second day game Wareham's played this summer, and then Thursday they play at 4:30 at Brewster. That's at Stony Brook Field.
Up high, Turnbull misses with the fastball to start it off to Kevin Newman, 1-0. Wareham coming in on the home stretch of games this summer. They've been eliminated from playoff contention. Final game scheduled for Sunday. Fastball hit on the ground toward short. This could be 2. Flip to second for 1. Throw to first is in time. They get the speedy Kevin Newman on the tail end of the twin killing. 6-4-3, the Gatemen turn it, and there's 2 away in the third.
That was turned very nicely by Ethan Gross, Brett Pirtle, and then the third member of that double play trio, and Bradley Roney. That was very nice right there. And yeah, you're right. You get the speedy Leon Bird Jr. Who is running towards second, and you get Kevin Newman. 2 very fast guys on the base pass, both gone.
So Falmouth with 2 down, bottom of the third. Reese Hoskins, the hitter. He walked his first time. Big bat for the Commodores. He takes the first pitch fastball, which is called strike 1. Turnbull with much better command than what we've seen from him this summer, at least in the starts. First 2 appearances to start the summer were rough for the righty. 0-1, chopped weakly over to the Wareham dugout, foul, so Hoskins down 0-2.
Yeah, that ball was going to go into the Wareham dugout, and first base coach Darryl Maxwell actually just put his hand out there, and it went right off his hand back onto the field. Way to go, Max.
On a doubleheader, they could use him in the field.
They can use anybody. They can use us. Well, maybe not me.
It's a tired bunch out there, and they've got 14 innings of baseball on tap for today. 0-2 pitch. Taken by Hoskins, and it's strike 3 called. Hoskins doesn't like it. He gets punched out to end the third inning. Wareham leading 1-0 after 3 full from Spillane Field on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
No scores. We head to the top of the fourth here at Spillane Field. The Wareham Gatemen lead the Falmouth Commodores 1-1 here at Spillane Field. Spencer Turnbull has been very good for the Gatemen. He's given up quite a few hits, but 3. He's found a way to get out of any jams. Here is Sean McMullen. That's a high fly ball toward right. Dylan Davis went back. Now comes in and makes the catch for out number 1. McMullen back in the second double that was picked off at second base by Craig Schlitter and Kevin Newman. I'll bring up Danny Rosenbaum, the third baseman from Louisville, struck out in the second. He was the third strikeout victim for Craig Schlitter. First pitch to Rosenbaum is a called strike, pretty far off the outside part of the plate. Schlitter works quickly. Here's his 0-1. That one's low and away. Ball 1, 1-1.
Reminder, you can join us for game 2 of the doubleheader later on. It'll start 30 minutes after this one ends or at 7, whichever comes later.
1-1 is low and away. 2-1.
So with a quick game, we might have a good break in between the 2 games.
I'm hoping that's the case. Rest our voices. 2-1 to Rosenbaum. That one's chopped foul over by the on-deck circle. Cole Sturgeon jumps out of his chair to field that one. And Cole Sturgeon always sits on a chair right outside that dugout, never in the dugout. I think he's next to Terry Thompson and Sean Newcomb. That one's fouled off to the right, out of play.
3 other games today about to get underway. 3 5 o'clock starts. This was supposed to be an off day for everyone, but got 3 other makeup games in addition to the doubleheader going on today.
2-2 to Rosenbaum. That one's outside. Full count, 3-2.
Chatham at Brewster, Bourne at YD, and Orleans at Catuit over at Lowell Park. The Kettleers will be here tomorrow for a true home game for the Gatemen at Spillane.
3-2 to Rosenbaum. That one is outside and a little bit low. Ball 4. So 1-out walk for Rosenbaum. First time he's been on tonight. That'll bring up the catcher, Matt Walsh.
And Falmouth, man, we were saying Wareham is, fighting fatigue, and they've got to get everyone into the lineup. Falmouth had a doubleheader on Sunday as well against Bourne. They had a game yesterday. They get back for a doubleheader today. 5 games in 3 days for this squad.
Matt Walsh grounded out to short in the second. He swings through that one for strike 1. Tucker Simpson is here. He's over by the Wareham locker room. He's got his Tom Brady jersey on, just like he does for every start.
He's the starter in game 2.
0-1, that one's in the dirt. Stopped by O'Brien, 1-1. Now he shakes some hands. 1-1 the count on Matt Walsh. Outfield is deep. Pitch to short. Kevin Newman throws to first to get Matt Walsh. Danny Rosenbaum moves up to second. Nice athletic throw by Kevin Newman. Was going to his right. Third baseman Connor Hale was also going to his left, but it was Newman who made the play.
He had a lot of time to make that throw, too. Walsh was trying to dig that one out. He made it pretty close, but that was a nice play turned in by Newman.
And Walsh doesn't run very fast. Here is Bradley Roney, who was hit by a pitch in the third. Swings through that one. That's fouled off to the right, out of play. Roney's kind of cut down on the strikeouts a little bit at the plate. Just a little bit. But he's had some trouble in the field today. Again, you got to remember it's his first game. 0-1 to Roney. He fouls that one back. 0-2. 2 away. 1-0 Gatemen. In the top of the fourth. Reminder, you can also send us an email, nominate a player of the game, gatemanbroadcasting@gmail.com. Or if you just want to say hello, send us a tweet at Wareham Gatemen. 0-2 to Roney. Popped foul behind us. Second baseman Leon Bird Jr. is just on the edge of the grass. He's actually standing on the grass. In very, very, very shallow right center, just behind the normal position for a second baseman. 0-2 to Roney. Outside, 1-2. Center fielder Maggie's a step or two toward right center.
He's playing pretty deep as well. They have done their homework on Roney and know that if he gets a hold of one, he can drive it a long way.
1-2 the count to the first baseman from Southern Mississippi. Here's the pitch, outside, 2-2.
He's done a lot better of a job in this ballgame of laying off those pitches outside. That's kind of what hampered him yesterday when he struck out in his last 2 at-bats.
Bradley Roney from Wetumpka, Alabama. If it's Wetumpka, I think that's the pronunciation. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout number 5 for Craig Schlitter. We are through 3.5 here at Spillane Field on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. 1-0 Gatemen. Spencer Turnbull back out there. He continues to dominate. 1-0 Gatemen here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network and WCTV. It'll be 4, 5, and 6. Casey Gillespie, Dylan Davis, Kevin Crone. Gillespie flew out to center in the first inning. Perhaps one of the most dangerous bats, or the most dangerous bats in the Falmouth order, takes ball 1 low and in the dirt. Stopped by Walsh by a backhand. On a backhand. 1-0, that one's into right center in the gap. McMullen's going to chase after it, but it'll roll all the way to the wall. Gillespie will round first, head to second. He will stop there. Pretty much jogged the whole way from the first base bag to the second base bag, but it's a leadoff double for Casey Gillespie.
That ball was just hit pretty much as squarely as you can hit a baseball, and that ball came off with a lot of velocity. It got there quickly to the right center field fence, and it was an easy double for him. It's deep out there. McMullen, a long run to field that one. Easy double to start it for Gillespie.
As Terry Thompson will make his way out of the dugout, try to find a way to settle down Spencer Turnbull as he gives up the leadoff double.
4 hits now for Falmouth. They've had one in every inning. Last inning it was the bunt single from Bird, but Wareham got a 6-4-3 double play on the very next batter. In the second inning, it was a single from O'Brien with 2 outs, so not much harm there. The big trouble that he ran into was in the first, with the guys at first and second with just 1 out, but Turnbull's been good so far today.
Yeah, just the first extra base hit he's given up. But yeah, back to what you were saying about Casey Gillespie and that ball that got all the way out there to the fence. It was very quick, and I think had it been any slower, he would have maybe had a chance at 3. Just something to consider. Matt Walsh gives the signs. It'll be Dylan Davis. He popped out to second in the first. Turnbull looks at second, goes home. Here's the pitch. It's high for ball 1. Just a great afternoon for a ball game here at Spillane Field. Not too hot. Here comes Turnbull's 0-1. Excuse me, 1-0 that swung on and missed by Davis. 1-1.
See, when he has that fastball command, spotting it on the outside corner, you know, he throws hard enough that a very good hitter like Davis, can't do much with that, especially in that location.
1-1. Inside, 2-1. Turnbull's throwing the ball pretty hard. I mean, there's a loud pop in the glove of Matt Walsh. 2-1. That one's ripped down the left field line. It is foul. That was hit very hard. Two and two the count on Dylan Davis.
Big batter here for Turnbull.
Yeah, well, we just saw him rip one down that left field line that was just foul. Hits the ball hard. 2-2 from Turnbull. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 gets Dylan Davis. That's the third strikeout of the afternoon for Spencer Turnbull. There's one away in the top of the fourth.
That's a great changeup there, just dropping through the bottom of the strike zone. Fantastic pitch, 2-2. Make or break situation after the leadoff double, and Turnbull gets a big out.
It's the bottom of the fourth. First strikeout in the bottom of the fourth. This whole thing's kind of screwing me up with Wareham being the away team and Falmouth being the home team. It's confusing.
Well, now you got that one out of the way, so you're golden from here.
First pitch is low and away in the dirt, stopped by Walsh to Kevin Crone. Popped to first in foul territory back in the second. One out, runner on second is Casey Gillespie. One 0. Here's the pitch from Turnbull. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Kevin Crone was 1 for 4, had a double and 2 RBIs in the All-Star game on Saturday. He's big, 6'6", 245 pounds. Rests the bat on his shoulder. Time is called. One and one. A little bit of a wag of the bat. Pitch. Low. 2-1. Gillespie has 3 stolen bases on the season. And at the plate, Kevin Crone and Dylan Davis tied for the team lead with a .393 on-base percentage as Matt Walsh goes out to talk with Spencer Turnbull. Maybe some confusion with the signs. Bottom of the 4th at Spillane Field, 1-0 Wareham.
Gatemen got the run in the top of the 3rd inning on what was ruled an error by the second baseman, Leon Bird. Tino Lipson scored.
Turnbull spun around, thought like he was going to go to second, but nobody covering the bag. Just a bluff.
You know, it's been a game where 4 hits for Falmouth, 3 hits for Wareham. Either way, either team could be leading at this point in the game, and
it's been a good game. 2-1. That one's low, 3-1.
Feels like this is a very important inning for Turnbull after the leadoff double. How would he respond after facing Gillespie with the double, then Davis, then Crone? He got the strikeout on Davis. Can he get through Crone and get that big second out?
You know, it's an important inning for Falmouth. They're trailing 1-0 with 1 out. You got a runner on scoring position, Casey Gillespie. Time called by Rich Gaitane, the home plate umpire.
Well, as a team, with runners in scoring position, Falmouth hitting .287 on the season with 130 RBIs. They've been great in these situations.
3-1. Swing and a miss by Kevin Crone, 3-2. Big strike there. He's just 1 strike away from the second out of the inning.
And this just is a different Spencer Turnbull than we've seen. It feels like in other games where he'd have a 3-1 count, it would just be ball 4 after that. He's really battled back and had the command to get back in the count and work his way back.
3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Spencer Turnbull. That's number 4 of the afternoon. And there's 2 away in the bottom of the 4th.
We've got a long way to go in this one, but those could very well end up being where we look back and say those were the 2 biggest outs of the ball game. You strike out Davis and then Crone with 1 guy on. Gillespie had the leadoff double and nobody out in a 1-run ball game. Those are really big outs for Turnbull.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Here is Connor Hale. First pitch inside, ball 1. Hale popped out to Bradley Roney at first base in foul territory in the second. Sturgeon and McMullen playing him shallow. Pitch in the dirt. Gillespie's going to move to third. Walsh throw, tag, not in time. Gillespie was well off the bag, and the ball got away from Matt Walsh. Not too far. But Gillespie didn't even run. He just kind of jogged in. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he's just so tall and he's not capable of running. I don't know, but he's just so big, it's like he can only jog. 2-0 the count on Connor Hale. Pitch, that one's a hard grounder past the dive of Rosenbaum into left field. Gillespie will score. We get a tie ball game. 2-out single for Connor Hale down the left field line.
Good piece of hitting by Hale to yank that ball right past the diving Rosenbaum at third. Ties up this ball game. Gillespie, that was really important, that pass ball that moved him up into scoring position at third, because I don't know if Gillespie would have scored from second base on that same exact hit from Hale if he hadn't moved up on the pass ball, because like you were saying, Austin, he hasn't been running particularly well.
Pickoff attempt over at first. Hale is back. So now we've got a 1-1 ball game. What happens if this game goes in extra innings? I don't know.
Well, there was a doubleheader between Brewster and
Hyannis?
Bourne, Brewster and Hyannis, I think, and they were tied after 9 innings. It was supposed to be a 7-inning game, and then they just stopped it because that was game 1, and then they got ready for the second game.
1-0 the count on Cameron O'Brien. He singled in the second inning. That's a hard grounder to second. Brett Pirtle up with it, throws to first for out number 3. A double for Casey Gillespie to lead off the inning. He scores on an RBI single by Connor Hale. We have a tie ball game, 1-1 here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network and WCTV. leadoff double for Casey Gillespie in the bottom of the fourth. He scored on an RBI single by Connor Hale. It's a tie ball game here at Spillane Field between the Wareham Gatemen and the Falmouth Commodores. It'll be 8-9-1. Tino Lipson, Ethan Groves as Lipson leads off the inning with a line drive into right field, a base hit. Lipson scored the first run for Wareham. That was in the third inning. Here is Ethan Gross. He singled in the third. Craig Schlitter on the mound for his fifth inning of work, and Falmouth can't really. They need him to go a long way.
Yeah, well, yesterday they had 6 runs given up to Chatham in the first inning. Brandon Magalonis, the starter, did not get out of the first.
Lipson is off. That one's fouled back just behind Cole Sturgeon and over the fence here in the on-deck circle.
So Magalonis doesn't get out of the first inning, and Falmouth the rest of the way had to use 7 pitchers, and this is the day after Sunday where they had a doubleheader. Luckily in game 1 of that doubleheader, they got a complete game, 7 innings from Trey Teakill, but I mean, with another doubleheader today, really good to see Craig Schlitter for them still on the mound. Jeff Trunny needs that.
0-1 to Groshow's bunt, pulls back, called strike on the outside part of the plate, 0-2.
And we've seen this in a whole lot now with Wareham and the small ball. We saw it yesterday. In each of the first 2 innings, Wareham had 3 or 4 times where they tried to bunt guys over that just let off the inning with a single. They're really trying to play small ball and play for the win. It's the 5th inning, so it's getting late in this one.
0-2 is low and away in the dirt, stopped by O'Brien, 1-2. Cole Sturgeon waits on deck. He had a home run yesterday in Orleans. Check on Lipson over at first. He's back. Had a big lead. Gross entered tonight hitting .260. 1-2. Inside. Chopper. That's going to be fair and will roll foul. It was a very high chopper, just kind of on the handle of the bat. Guess it was between, that third base bag and home plate. Connor Hale, the third baseman, was going to have to come in a long way. Schlitter was off the mound as well.
Schlitter right now, 72 pitches. That's how many he threw in 7 innings against Wareham last time.
1-2, check on Lipson. I'm sure these Wareham pitchers are happy to be back at home on their own mound. A couple of the Wareham pitchers were complaining about the Chatham mound, how it's very high. 1-2, that one, liner to second, catch is made by Leon Bird, and they are going to double up Tino Lipson. Just a very low liner to Leon Bird Jr., the second baseman, made the catch kind of as the ball was about to drop on the infield dirt. Just put his glove there and let the ball fall in. And then through to second to get Lipson.
There's not much there Tino Lipson can do as a base runner in that situation, because if you're the second baseman, Leon Bird, you could just let that one bounce a little bit, go a little more slowly toward it, and then you just flip to second, throw to first. You get the double play that way. Lipson is just in no man's land.
Cole Sturgeon swinging a miss for strike one. First pitch to him from Schlitter. Yeah, that was going to be a double play regardless, just whether Bird let it drop or not. 0-1, that one's low. 1-1. Bird Jr.'s on the edge of the outfield grass. One. Inside, 2-1 to Sturgeon. Brett Pirtle waits on deck. Lights are not on here at Spillane Field. You can use the natural light. That'll be good enough. Time called. Might need those lights later, but tell you, what we saw last night with the lights at Eldridge Park, cool but dangerous. 2-1 to Sturgeon, swing and a miss, 2-2.
Yeah, when Colin Slaybaugh, one of the Orleans left-handed hitters, came to the plate, he fouled one off to the left side over the third base dugout, hit directly one of the lights, and glass came raining down.
2-2, called strike three. Strikeout number 6 for Craig Schlitter. We've got a 1-1 ball game. We head for the bottom of the 5th here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network and WCTV. CTV on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. 1-1 game between the Wareham Gatemen and the Falmouth Commodores. It'll be Joseph Maggi, Leon Bird Jr., and Kevin Newman, 9, 1, and 2 to lead off the bottom of the 5th against Spencer Turnbull. First pitch coming to Maggi. Here it is. It's a called strike.
Just to confuse our listeners and viewers even more so, between the distinction between Sam Gillikin and Joseph Maggi. Maggi is wearing Sam Gillikin's batting helmet with the number 14 on the back.
That's what I saw earlier as well. 0-1. Breaking ball, good pitch, good location, 0-2.
But it was Maggi who grounded out to third base to end the second inning and who is batting right now. We can assure you of that.
Maggi ended tonight hitting 140. 0-2 is outside. Yeah, you know what? Last time up for Maggi, that was in the bottom of the 2nd. We thought it was Sam Gillikin, but then I realized he was wearing a different jersey, but he still had the number 14 helmet. 1-2. Rip foul back. Count will still be 1-2.
60 pitches now for Turnbull. He most likely has a lot of life left in him to hopefully, if he keeps pitching well, if you're Terry Thompson, the hope is that he can get you all 7 innings.
1-2. Here it is. That one's in the left, a base hit just over the head of Ethan Gross, the shortstop. Leadoff single for Joseph Maggi.
The second baseman, number 11, Leon Bird.
Third straight inning that Falmouth has led off the inning with a hit. Leon Bird led off the 3rd. The bunt single. Casey Gillespie doubled in the 4th. And now Maggi with the single. To the top of the order we go. Leon Bird Jr. 1 for 2. Struck out in the 1st. Reached on a bunt single. That was in the 3rd.
He's had a hit in every game against the Gatemen this summer.
Shows bunt. Drops it down right back to the mound. Turnbull just goes right to first to get out number 1 there. Maggi up to second. Job done by Maggi. Job done by Bird Jr. Gets Maggi to second base.
It was similar to the bunt we saw earlier for Wareham when the sacrifice bunt was fielded by Craig Schlitter on the mound, and he went to second for the first out there. They didn't get a double play out of it, but they did get the lead runner. That was back in the 3rd inning. I was wondering if Turnbull would have had enough time, because that one was hit pretty much right at him, to go to the second base for the out there.
There is Kevin Newman. He's 1 for 2. Singled in the 1st. First pitch breaking ball called strike. He singled in the 1st, grounded to a 6-4-3 double play in the 3rd. I'm still convinced that his batting stance looks exactly like J.J. Hardy's.
Roll with it then.
0-1 the count to Newman. 1 out pitch up and in. 1-1. Reese Hoskins waits on deck. Left fielder for the Commodores. 1-1 to Newman. To short, Ethan Gross has to go a long way. Throws, and it is not in time. Kevin Newman beats it out. You see the speed right there. Maggi moves up to 3rd. So Kevin Newman now 2 for 3. Gross had to go far to his left to make that play. They made an athletic throw to 1st, but just not in time. A close play. There you see the speed for Kevin Newman.
Yeah, and Gross had to make the off-balance throw. Couldn't fire a strike over to Roney, so another reason why Newman can leg that out. Another good scoring opportunity as well for Falmouth.
Terry Thompson will make his way to the mound. As Reese Hoskins will be the batter. A 1-1 game here, so probably some sort of strategy to keep Joseph Maggi at 3rd base. Can't let him score. Falmouth will take the lead 2-1.
Wareham right-hander Jared Ruxer is up and tossing in the bullpen out in left field.
And we expected to see him today. Might see Bradley Roney in the nightcap. shaking your head no.
And we will not. Roney is for gonna get shut down pitching for a few days.
Well, how did you hear this?
We were talking about it in the pregame show.
No, we weren't.
Oh.
Well, play umpire Rich Gatemen out there to break up the meeting. Reese Hoskins, the batter, 0 for 1. He walked in the first, struck out in the third. First pitch to Hoskins, low and outside, 1-0.
This has the same feel in terms of importance as the fourth inning, where no outs and the leadoff double from Gillespie, and then coming up where Dylan Davis and Kevin Crone, and Turnbull got out of that just allowing 1 run. Can he do the same here?
Turnbull bluffed to third, bluffed to first. Well, I mean, it feels like that's always going to be the situation, just because this Falmouth lineup is so dangerous.
Yeah, they're so deep, especially 3 through 6. Those guys, those power bats, when Newman and Bird can get on to set the table.
1-0 is up and in, 2-0. Kevin Newman on first, Joseph Maggi on third. Runners at the corners, 1 out. Reese Hoskins, the batter, 2-0, is a chopper foul. Not very many people here. It's also a Tuesday at just about 5:30. Two-1 to Hoskins. High pop-up into left. Tino Lipson is under it. Joseph Maggi ready to tag. Lipson makes the catch. A good throw, very high. It gets over the glove of Matt Walsh. Turnbull was behind home plate to back it up, and scoring from third is Joseph Maggi. A great throw from Lipson, but it was too high as it got over the glove of Walsh. And that allows the Commodores to take a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, just a throwing error there. It was a strong throw from Lipson, but just sailed it home. That'll be an unearned run coming in as Maggi scores. That's a tough break for Turnbull on the hill, who, if you can get Hoskins to fly out, and it wasn't going to be deep enough, Maggi was not going to test that throw. He did take a few steps off just to see where it was coming in, and then it got thrown way over Matt Walsh.
Well, to make matters worse, Kevin Newman is on second base. There's speed there, and the batter, again, matters worse, Casey Gillespie.
Well, just to finish that thought on the play, Turnbull was also backing up Matt Walsh, as he should be, but the throw was so wild he couldn't handle it either.
It was a great throw that he reached home plate, or he had the potential. Called strike 2, Gillespie, 0-1. Turnbull has his pitch, looks at Newman at second, and here's his 0-1. Breaking ball is low, 1-1.
So an error for Wareham to match 1 for Falmouth, and both times there have been an error and the other team has capitalized on it and scored.
2-1 Commodores, run in the inning on the sacrifice fly by Reese Hoskins. One. Gillespie, hard grounder to Brett Pirtle at second, throws to first for out number 3. A run in the inning on the sacrifice fly by Reese Hoskins. Falmouth leads it 2-1 on WCTV and the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. 2, 3, and 4 for the Gatemen will be Brett Pirtle, Kyle Schwarber, Sean McMullen. 2-1 Falmouth. First pitch from Clegg Schlitter is low and away, 1-0.
2-0, and that's up and away. Pirtle gets a 3-0 count to start it here. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Falmouth leading 2-1 at Spillane Field, a 3-0. Fastball that gets the outside edge, 3-1. Schlitter 78 pitches entering the 6th inning. And the 3-1 is just up and away. 5-pitch walk issued to Brett Pirtle, who is aboard to start it in the top of the 6th inning. 3rd time he has been on tonight. 2 singles and now the walk.
It'll be Kyle Schwarber, the batter.
Completely different Kyle Schwarber that we've seen tonight. 2 strikeouts, his first 2 of the summer, 1 swinging, 1 looking. Has worked pretty good at bats both times, but then just been fooled by the pitching. Didn't like the call at all the last time when he got rung up on strike 3.
Well, I mean, he was very good against YD. He was very good against Chatham. And then we saw last night taking just a little bit of a step back, and now we're seeing it even more today as O'Brien out to the mound.
Mike Landry, the pitching coach, will signal out to the bullpen.
We'll have a pitching change from Spillane Field. 2-1 where 2-1 Falmouth on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network and WCTV. New pitcher on for the Falmouth Commodores is Donnie Murray, the right-hander from Holy Cross, hails from Walpole, Massachusetts. We want to know the 2.84 earned run average, 12 appearances, 19 innings, 17 hits, 6 earned runs, 3 walks, 16 strikeouts. Night is done for Craig Schlitter.
He came on Sunday against Bourne, part of that doubleheader. Only faced 1 batter, recorded an out. He also pitched against Wareham way back on June 21st. 2 innings, 2 hits, an earned run, a walk and a strikeout. He faced 9 batters in that ball game. Been a good arm for Falmouth coming out of the bullpen.
Commodores lead it 2-1. A walk to start the top of the 6th for Brett Pirtle. So Murray will have to deal with Kyle Schwarber, Sean McMullen. Schwarber is 0 for 2, a pair of strikeouts, 1 looking, 1 swinging. The 1 looking came in the 3rd, the 1 swinging came in the 1st. Pretty good outing for Craig Schlitter, 6 strikeouts. So the outfield for the Commodores playing Schwarber deep, especially center fielder Maggi and the right fielder Davis. First pitch is a breaking ball and a called strike on the outside part of the plate.
And we've seen pitchers, at least from Falmouth today, making the adjustment to pitching to Kyle Schwarber. Everything that they do, they're working him away.
Check on Pirtle at first.
They've done it to good success so far today. 2 strikeouts for Schwarber in his first 2 at-bats.
Another check on Pirtle.
Pirtle was caught stealing in the 1st inning. Head first dive into 2nd. He was out by a lot.
0-1 is high and outside, 1-1.
It's just the first time this summer Pirtle had been caught on the bases. 5 for 6 now on stolen base attempts.
Pirtle the big lead, another check, that one's close. 1-1, the count still on Kyle Schwarber. One. High and outside again, 2-1.
And this is where Wareham can do some serious damage and get that run back after the error in the last half inning allowed Joseph Maggi to come in to score from 3rd base. It looked like Turnbull might be able to get out of it. Right now, Wareham can start to get that 1-run deficit back.
Quick throw to first, check on Pirtle, he's back. Two-one pitch to Schwarber. Foul back. 2-2.
And some other Cape League news. Jaron Long, the right-hander from Bourne, has reportedly signed with the New York Yankees. This originally reported by our friend from Perfect Game, Frankie Polari. Jaron Long started for the West in the All-Star game.
2-2. Schwarber checked his swing. It's outside, though. A ball, 3-2.
Jaron Long signs with the Yankees. We saw earlier this summer Mike Ford from Catuit signed with the Yankees, and Jaron Long, his father, Kevin Long, is the hitting coach for the Major League Yankees.
3-2 pitch to Schwarber. Pearl's off. Popped up and right. It's on the infield. Second baseman Leon Bird Jr. makes the catch for out number 1. So Schwarber now 0 for 3.
Another good at bat though from Schwarber. The first time up, worked the count full. Second time, worked it to 2-2. This time he works the count full again. Just hasn't had the results today that he had in the first 3 games of the summer.
Here's the right fielder Sean McMullen. He is 1 for 2. He doubled in the second, flew out to right in the fourth. Pirtle still on first base, 1 out. Pitch is a called strike on the outside part of the plate. 0-1 to McMullen. Top of the 6th there at Spillane Field. 2-1 Commodores. On the count on Sean McMullen. Pitch. Called strike, 0-2. So Donnie Murray has come out here, got Kyle Schwarber, a big bat for the Gatemen, to pop up. He's got an 0-2 count on Sean McMullen right now. Murray's 0-2. Fouled off to the left by McMullen. Danny Rosenbaum waits on deck. Oh and 2 the count. Pirtle on first. Pitch to McMullen is up and away, 1-2.
Well, they're really making Donnie Murray work since coming in. It helps having Pirtle at first to distract, to divert some of Murray's attention on the hill. This is, late in this ball game. Think of it like the 8th inning. Wareham trying to grind out these at-bats and tie it up.
1-2 the count. As Pirtle is off, Murray will throw to second. They've got him in a rundown. Newman to first, and Kevin Crone applies the tag for out number 2.
Second time Pirtle has been caught on the bases. Second time he's been on with 1 out and been the second out of the inning. It just changes the whole complexion of the inning for the Gatemen bats. Now it's 1-2 with 2 outs and nobody on for McMullen, and Murray's right about to get out of this.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Second baseman Leon Bird Jr. just over the dirt and in the outfield on the outfield grass. 1-2 pitch from Murray. Outside, 2-2.
And that was interesting by Pirtle because he wasn't fooled by the first movement from Murray. He just decided to start running. He thought Murray wasn't paying attention, but Murray just stepped off, went to second, got him in a brief rundown, and that was that.
Seemed like a delay reaction from the entire Falmouth infield. 2-2 to McMullen. Here it is. Outside, 3-2. Good pitch.
Just continue to work these at-bats, but it's a whole lot different with nobody on and 2 outs.
Full count. 2 outs. 2-1 Falmouth. The pitch. Ball 4. Patient at bat for McMullen. Second walk of the inning. The first one to Pirtle was a walk from Craig Schlitter.
That one was very close to being strike 3. We've seen that same exact pitch called a strike tonight on the outside corner to a left-hander, but this time it's a ball and McMullen gets to first with 2 down.
So here is Danny Rosenbaum. 0 for 1, a strikeout and a walk. First pitch is swung on and missed. 1-1. Rosenbaum does not offer, says first base umpire Jeffrey Merzel. 1-1 to Rosenbaum. 2 outs. Runner on first. McMullen, he walked. Second walk of the inning for the Gatemen. Brett Pirtle was caught stealing. 1-1 from Murray. Rosenbaum hard grounder to short. Newman on the backhand goes to second for out number 3. 2-1 Falmouth. We head for the bottom of the 6th on WCTV and the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Work, they'll face Dylan Davis. Falmouth Commodores lead 2-1 here at Spillane Field on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network and WCTV. Davis, Kevin Crone, and Connor Hale in the inning. First pitch is a called strike on the inside part of the plate, 0-1.
So Turnbull works into his 6th inning. Craig Schlitter came out after facing one batter into the 6th. He walked Brett Pirtle. Final line on him, 5 innings, 4 hits, a run, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts.
That one is low and in the dirt, dug up by Matt Walsh, 1-1.
Schlitter threw 83 pitches before giving way to Donnie Murray, who worked the next 3 batters. Got a pop out and then walked McMullen and got Danny Rosenbaum out after he got Brett Pirtle thrown out caught between first and second.
1-1 to Davis. Here's the pitch from Turnbull. Checks his swing. They'll check with first. And Jeffrey Merzel says he did go, so the count is 1-2.
Davis has not looked comfortable up there tonight. He had the strikeout in the 4th inning, popped out early on to second base in the 1st, down 1-2.
1-2 to Davis. Way outside, gets away from Walsh, goes all the way back to the backstop. I think our own Hillary Bushway just won something on the Falmouth 50-50 raffle. That's just a kind of a guess. She had a ticket in her hand. 2-2 pitch to Dylan Davis. Inside, 3-2.
Falmouth running the 50-50 because technically this is their home game. We're just playing it at Spillane Field because the nightcap is truly a Wareham home game right here.
3-2 to Davis. Low ball 4, leadoff walk for the Commodores.
So after Turnbull had him 1-2, big right-hander fires 3 straight balls, and Davis gets aboard with that leadoff walk. A very patient approach by him at the plate.
So here is Kevin Crone from TCU. Crone is 0-2, popped out to the first baseman Roney in foul territory in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th.
78 pitches now for Spencer Turnbull. Jared Ruxer was up and warming earlier.
Check on Davis at first. He's back. Everybody in now, and the Falmouth lineup has been on except for the man at the plate, Kevin Crone. Checks his swing. We'll check with Merzel. The first base umpire did not go, 1-0.
7 hits today for Falmouth, just 4 for Wareham. Still a tight ball game. Could go either way. Wareham will have to do damage in the top of the 7th, and that's if Turnbull and the Gatemen can keep Falmouth quiet here in the home half of the 6th.
1-0. Swing and a miss by Kevin Crone, 1-1.
That's confidence in the changeup from Spencer Turnbull to throw it 1-0. He left that one a little higher than I think he would like to a big power hitter like Crone, but still, the confidence to throw that when Crone was definitely expecting a fastball is worth mentioning.
1-1. Check on Davis. He's back. Reminder to be with us for the nightcap. Starts at 7 or a half hour after this one's complete. 1-1. That one's high, 2-1.
We will not have a pregame show, or excuse me, we won't have a pregame show for the next game. We will go on a few minutes before the game. We'll wrap this one up briefly, and then we'll do a real extended postgame show after the 2nd game of this doubleheader.
Bottom of the 6th, 2-1 Falmouth, 2-1 pitch. is into left, a base hit. Every batter in the Falmouth lineup has now reached base. That's a single for Kevin Crone, and Dylan Davis moves up to second.
Right, that was right through the hole, and Gross playing up the middle, trying to get two, and Crone picks the right spot there for the single.
There is Connor Hale, third baseman. He's 1 for 2. He singled his last time out as Terry Thompson signals to the bullpen. We'll have everything you need to know on the new pitcher when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network and WCTV. New pitcher on for the Gatemen night is done for Spencer Turnbull. It is Jared Ruxer from Louisville, pitching a day after his 21st birthday. So, no, Jared, you're not hearing this, but a happy birthday to you. Ruxer, 0-1 with a 2.92 earned run average, 6 appearances, 12 1/3 innings pitched, 16 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, 10 strikeouts. He will face Connor Hale. Shows bunt. It's a called strike. Ruxer came running in, and Pirtle was on his way to first base to cover the bag.
Tough start to the 6th inning for Spencer Turnbull. He'd been really strong through 5. Then he walks Dylan Davis to lead it off. Kevin Crone then with the single, so first and second with nobody out. Falmouth already leading 2-1 here in the bottom of the 6th.
Shows bunt, went after it, but it was outside, so the count's going to be 0-2. That's not going to make a manager happy when you go try to stretch the bat out there to get one that's out of the zone.
Yeah, he's just helping out Ruxer there. Last time we saw Ruxer was against Chatham on Sunday night. First pitch he threw was blasted for a home run, a solo shot. And then he retired the next 6 guys he faced.
0-2. Walsh set outside, but the pitch was a little too far outside. 1-2 to Connor Hale.
Ruxer throws a 4-seamer, a 2-seamer, a slider, and a changeup.
Ruxer looks in, has his pitch, 1-2 the count. And here's the pitch, but he fakes and gives a look towards second. Dylan Davis back to the bag. One-two pitch. Called strike 3. It was either called or it was swinging as Connor Hale checked his swing. But I don't think he went around, so it could be called
No, he went down
3.
looking there. That was a very close one, though, and Ruxer might have got a little generous there. It was outside with on the edge of the outside part of the zone there with the slider. It whipped all the way out there, but home plate up, rings him up.
So first strikeout for Ruxer, first out of the inning. Here's Cameron O'Brien, the catcher. 2-1 Falmouth in the bottom of the 6th. Ruxer look at second, goes home. Here's the pitch. High fly ball out toward deep right. McMullen going back is under it. He now comes in, makes the catch. Tagging and going to third is Davis. But the throw is cut off by Brett Pirtle. Out number 2, but Davis moves up to third. Kevin Crone staying at first base. I'll bring up Joseph Maggi.
The center fielder, number 7, Joseph Maggi from Arizona.
Maggi is 1 for 2. He grounded out to third in the second. He singled and scored in the 5th. Runners at the corners, 2 outs, 2-1 Falmouth. Joseph Maggi from the University of Arizona. Ruxer waiting a while. Here's his pitch. Called strike. Maggi showed bunt.
Ruxer really needs to keep this a 1-run ball game to see what Wareham can do in the top of the 7th with the bottom of the lineup due up, starting with Matt Walsh, the number 6 hitter.
Yeah, Matt Walsh, Bradley Roney, Tino Lipson. Ruxer with a check on Kevin Crone at first. He's back. So Ruxer's been good for the first two batters he's faced in the inning. Another check. Won the count on Joseph Maggi. And here's the pitch. Hard grounder to short. Ethan Gross flips to second and gets the force there. Still 2-1 the Falmouth Commodores lead. We head for the top of the 7th on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network and WCTV.
With a 2-1 lead over Wareham. Thanks for joining us on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. I'm Mike Monaco with Austin Pollock to my right side. Game 1 of a doubleheader, and Falmouth looking to close this one out and walk away with a W in Game 1. Donnie Murray is on the rubber for his second inning of relief work, trying to get the save. It'll be a 6-out save for Murray, and he will face Matt Walsh, Bradley Roney, and Tino Lipson is the third man due up in the inning for the Gatemen. Top of the 7th, a pair of 7-inning games today for the doubleheader, so this could be it unless the Gatemen can tie it or take the lead. Top of the 7th inning, Matt Walsh 0 for 2 today. Pair of ground outs towards shortstop. First at bat against Murray. Right-hander from the windup. The first pitch is a breaking ball. Stays up just a bit. Ball 1.
We've seen very good pitching tonight. Murray now. We saw Craig Schlitter earlier. He was good. And Spencer Turnbull wasn't too bad either.
Murray's 1-0. Another breaking ball. This one also called a ball. It stayed up. This one a little in as well. 2-0.
And not to forget about Jared Ruxer last half inning. He wasn't too bad either.
Came on and shut the door. Kept this a 1-run game. The 2-0. Up and in with the heater. Walsh spins back. It's 3-0. Figure he'd be taking all the way here as the leadoff man.
It'll be Tucker Simpson in the nightcap.
Murray winds, kicks the 3-0. Fastball gets the inside edge. Walsh had taken 2 steps toward first, but it's 3-1.
Yeah, Matt Walsh gets the bad news from home plate umpire Rich Guytain.
1 run on 4 hits, 1 error for Wareham, 2 runs on 8 hits, and an error for Falmouth. The 3-1 home. Fastball called strike. Murray works his way back with 2 fastballs that get the inside corner. Walsh not too happy with that one. Got a full count here. The leadoff man in the top of the 7th for the Gatemen, who are trying to come back and get a comeback victory over Falmouth and get win number 9. The payoff pitch. Walsh fouls it back to the screen to stay alive. Murray has been a good relief pitcher for the Commodores this summer. Walsh, steady bat for the Gatemen, 241 for the Franklin Pierce backstop, looking for his first hit tonight for the Gatemen. The 3-2. Again, fouled off. Walsh might have chased ball 4 there. That was high, but had to do so to stay alive. Fastball gets fouled up and back to the right, and the count remains loaded at 3-2. Bradley Roney on deck for the Gatemen. He was hit by a pitch his first time, struck out swinging his next time up. The outfield is playing Walsh pretty deep here. This is a spacious ballpark. Center fielder Joseph Maggi and the left fielder Reese Hoskins, as well as the right fielder Dylan Davis. So they're all pretty deep. Murray winds. The 3-2. Popped up to the right side. This one will tail just a bit foul. Under it is Crone. Puts it away for the first out in the 7th. Good battle there between Walsh and Murray. And Murray comes out victorious, walks away without number 1. Goes to Bradley Roney, the number 7 hitter in the lineup. Third trip to the plate tonight, first against Murray. Righty-righty matchup, the first pitch. Fastball working away, and Murray gets a called strike 1.
I think you have to wonder who might be in the lineup for Falmouth. I think we'll see Troy Stein as catcher.
Roney chases a breaking ball low and away. He's down 0-2.
sure we'll see Sam Gillikin as well.
No balls and 2 strikes on Bradley Roney, the first baseman today. Has handled it pretty well in his first appearance there. The 0-2. Strike 3 called. Fastball down the middle, and Roney watches it go by him. It's a strikeout for Donnie Murray. 2 outs, and Wareham down to the final out in this game.
It's weird to say that. It's the 7th inning, but it is the top half of the 7th inning.
Game 1 of the doubleheader. Game 2 coming up at 7 o'clock. Lipson, the batter. He reached on a fielder's choice and scored his first time as he takes ball 1 low. He singled in the 5th inning on the first pitch he saw, but then was part of that double play. The next batter, Ethan Gross, lined out. 1-0. Lipson goes the other way, fouls it off to the left side. It's a ball and a strike. 2 outs. We're in the top of the 7th inning. Falmouth with a 2-1 lead. If Lipson can find a way to get on, Ethan Gross would be next. Murray kicks the 1-1. Tails too far, low and away. Falmouth fans wanted that one. Instead, it's 2-1. Lipson broke an 0-for-9 stretch with that single in the 5th inning. The 2-1. On the ground, back to Murray. He fields it, runs to first, will flip underhand for the out, and that's your ball game, folks. The Commodores win Game 1 of the doubleheader 2-1 here at Spillane Field. Craig Schlitter, 5 innings, 1 run. Donnie Murray tosses the final 2. Austin, it was tightly contested, but Falmouth found a way to get this one done. They manufactured those 2 runs.
Yeah, they did. I mean, it came late. I think the damage kind of came, when you say late in the game, you talk about in the last 2 or 3 innings, because this is a weird game. With just the 7 innings, but I mean, it was a pitcher's duel in my mind. We saw good pitching from Craig Schlitter. We saw Murray. Ruxer pitched. It was good pitching. It was just a matter of what team would get that last big hit to score a run.
Well, we'll take you through briefly what happened. We'll do a very, very short Wareham Wrap post-game show. We'll come on a few minutes before Game 2, which will start at 7 o'clock here in the nightcap of the doubleheader. So join us in a few minutes and stick with us right now as we recap briefly what happened. First 2 innings go scoreless. In the top of the 3rd, Wareham strikes first and got on the board when Tino Lipson scored on what was ruled an error when Brett Pirtle grounded one in between the first and second baseman. Leon Bird Jr. booted it, so Lipson scored. The Gatemen struck first. It was 1-0. It stayed that way heading to the bottom of the 4th inning when Falmouth found a way to get one back. Casey Gillespie led off with a double and came home to score the tying run when Connor Hale ripped an RBI single down the third base line. With a 1-1 ball game, we headed on to the bottom of the 5th. Joseph Maggi led off with a flare single to left field and came in to score. On a fly out to left field, there was an error by the Gatemen, and Maggi scored what proved to be the winning run. Wareham couldn't get another one back in that ball game, and the Gatemen fell 2-1 to Falmouth. It was a pretty good pitching performance, Austin, from Spencer Turnbull. 5 innings, 8 hits, the 2 runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. What are your reactions to the game as a whole?
I mean, I really thought that Spencer Turnbull did pitch well. I mean, we haven't really seen him have a very good quality start, and he did right there, so a lot of credit to him for that.
What do the Gatemen need to change going into Game 2?
Got to find a way to hit. It starts to me with the hitting. I'm sure Tucker Simpson, he's been pretty good, pretty consistent all season. We just got to see what he does tonight. And we just know he's going to go out there and give his team the best chance to win. It's just a matter of whether these Wareham hitters can take advantage of Falmouth pitching.
Well, in Game 2, the pitching matchup will be Kevin McCanna, the Falmouth right-hander, going up against Wareham righty Tucker Simpson, who has been a reliable arm for the Gatemen this summer. Austin, just briefly, what do you expect from him?
Well, we're going to have to wait and see. I think it's going to be a very good game. I think it's going to be a good game. I mean, Wareham has a win against Falmouth this season, and that's pretty impressive just because Wareham has struggled all season and Falmouth's been very good hitting. But I think Tucker Simpson's going to give his team the best chance to win. And I want to see Kevin McCann. I want to see what he brings because I actually didn't get to see him that time that he pitched against Wareham. I was out with that, whatever I was dealing with. And but We'll see. I mean, we know that he pitched pretty well. It was just kind of some unfortunate events, but we'll have to wait and see in just about 50 minutes.
So we will shut it down for about 45 minutes. We'll come back in a few before the second game gets started. 7 o'clock for Game 2 right here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network, WCTV. You can tune in and hear from Austin, me, and Hillary will be back for Game 2 of this doubleheader. Once again, though, the final score, Falmouth 2, Wareham 1. The Commodores take Game 1 and come away victorious. We'll be right back with Game 2.